Americans love scenery. We want to see it all, from one coast to the next, Mount Rushmore down to the Everglades. So hop into a Chevy Malibu and take the scenic route. It's the car you knew America could build. There's a place where people count on friendships they can trace back generations, where they can count on the same stool at the coffee shop waiting for them every morning. This place is called Glen Ellen, and you can find it in every bottle of Glen Ellen wine. This is craft brewed Herman Joseph's, the smoothest, easiest drinking specialty beer in the entire solar system. And I believe you'll find drinkable in the dictionary right after don't order a beer you can't drink. Zoingo! Boingo! The freestyle pogo with more boing, more bounce. Bounce further, bounce higher with Zoingo Boingo. To see what makes Arrowhead Mountain Spring water different from those other waters, you have to go back to the source. And with Arrowhead, that means going back a little farther and longer than most. Between security challenged and security strengthened, there's one important word: how. And it is the how that makes all the difference to our nation and our world. Lockheed Martin. We never forget who we're working for. What makes Kraft Singles so good? 2 out of every 3 kids don't get the recommended amount of calcium. But with Kraft Singles, they get a good source of calcium and the taste they love. Kraft Singles. Magic every single time. Throw boring overboard with a new real meal from Long John Silver's. A meal worthy of a plate, just $4.99. Only at Long John Silver's. We may not all be geniuses, but we can all do something smart. Introducing the Hyundai 199 Sonata Lease. It's a smart deal on a really smart car.
My wife grew up in a Jewish family, no food, right? I grew up in an Italian family. That's all we did was eat. If my mother had 10 people coming over, she made for 10,000 just in case somebody had an appetite. I had a grandmother who lived in the basement, just cranking out lasagna trays. It's like a lasagna factory. In the basement, food just kept coming up the stairs for no reason on a Tuesday at 3:30. My poor grandmother, 85, this woman was built to cook. Over a hot stove, didn't even use a spoon, just her hand was made out of leather, just...
Good morning. It's Tuesday, Trump Tuesday, October the 28th, and this is The True Conservative. Welcome to all the butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers out there. I'm Ron, your host, and the only true conservative in the United States today. So today, after the Serenity Prayer and the patriotic song of the day, we will have Varney and Company, motivation, meditation, and President Trump. All that and more when I get back. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I should not change, the courage to change the things I should, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Thank you. Now, the end of Maria, beginning of Stu.
Welcome back. Some final thoughts here. I wanted to show you this rock, Ashley. This is the rock on the bottom of the sea in the Permian Basin. It's so fascinating the way they frack. They send it down. They send the wellheads down to make a fracture in the rock, and then they send sand and water at huge compression to open up the fractures, and then the oil comes out and comes up. It's so fascinating. Fracturing is one of the greatest technology changes in the oil business. Let's get some final thoughts.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I just want to say, remember, I'm a Pennsylvania girl, Western Pennsylvania girl, and fracking changed the economy in that part of the state.
Exactly.
And it's just been, so I've been following this very closely.
And it's national security.
Absolutely, national security. My biggest thing I'm watching, listen, J.D. Vance has to unstick this government shutdown today, hopefully, with the lunch with Senate Republicans. I mean, something has to give on either side. This is not sustainable.
It's not sustainable now that we're talking about a month, and it's not going to end while President Trump is away, so we'll see if this goes into November. Ashley, great to see you this morning.
Nice to see you.
Thank you so much, Ashley Davis. That'll do it for us. I'll see you again tomorrow. Varney and Company picks it up now. Stu, take it away.
Good morning, Maria. Good morning, everyone. All smiles as the president makes deals in Japan. There's a rare earths agreement, a commitment from Toyota to spend $10 billion on car factories in America, a commitment by Trump to send sophisticated American missiles to Japan's Air Force. China was no doubt looking at that. So far, the president's tour has been marked by lots of positive feeling. I say that's a stark contrast to the very negative Schumer government shutdown. Anyway, investors like it. More records Monday, modest gains this morning. Dow up another 200 points. There's a couple of Dow stocks accounted for most of that gain, but the Dow is up. It's in the green. S&P up 8 and NASDAQ 48 points higher. Bitcoin, that's coming in this morning at 114.4. The yield on the 10-year Treasury, right at 4%. The 2-year Treasury yields right at 352. Gold below $4,000 an ounce, 39.34. Silver down to $46 an ounce. All right, that's the markets. Now, politics. Is there movement on the shutdown? Airport problems pile on the pressure. The leader of the government workers union says, yeah, it's time to open up. And today, with the president in Asia, Vice President Vance meets Senate Republicans, perhaps carrying instructions from Trump. Movement in the New York mayor's race. Andrew Cuomo has narrowed the gap with the front-runner Zohran Mamdani. He is now 10 points behind. On the show today, the disappearing climate movement. Less than a third of the countries at the UN's big climate conference have submitted plans for emission control. They are walking away from their commitments. Separately, Bill Gates has reversed course. Now, he says, climate change will not lead to humanity's demise. 4 years ago, we wrote a book, How to Avoid a Climate Disaster. Apparently, it has been avoided. And after 18 innings, 6 hours and 39 minutes, Freddie Freeman hit a walk-off home run to give the Dodgers a 6-5 win over the Blue Jays. It featured, wait for it, 19 pitchers, 609 pitches, and tied the record for the longest World Series game in history. Got it. Tuesday, October the 28th, 2025.
And that was Maria and Stu. Nonprofit News Now. Back in a minute. Thank you. A little bit more John Kobylt interviewing Bill O'Reilly.
Where I stayed when I was a correspondent for ABC, and they would send me out to Los Angeles to bureau duty. I'd stay in Westwood. Westwood was a jewel.
Yeah.
It's now a dump. It's shocking. And I mean, literally shocking. If you go to Westwood, no more Bruin Theater. No more, walking around the promenade. So I went into the stores because I was curious. And I went into the stores, and I was talking to the merchant. I said, what the deuce happened here? And they said, we've been overrun by drug addicts. And they set up tents, and they mug people, and they're all. And I said, well, where is the organized resistance to that? And they looked at me, and they go, if we call 911, if a robbery is underway, cops don't answer. Cops don't even show up. And the miscreants know it. And even if there's a cop driving by and happens to collar one of these people, they're not going to get prosecuted. They'll get kicked right back out to the street to do the same thing. And so, for some reason, Santa Monica is exactly the same way.
Oh, Santa Monica's shot.
They have camped there. Right. They have camped there and destroyed quality of life in 2 jewels of Southern California. And I'm sure there are many, many others. But I saw that. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. And then I went back to the W Hotel, which is still decent. And I was talking to the manager. I go, it must be killing your business. He goes, we're down 50%. Because people don't want to come here anymore.
Yeah, and I don't see the resistance forming at all to try to change this.
Because people are living in bubbles now. They got their cell phones, they got their computers, they got their cars. They go from the car to the house to the mall, and they look away. And as I said, the only thing that evil needs is for people to look away and to vote for people they don't know. You know, the party says this, politically correct that, woke this. So, yeah, I got to go along with it. If I want to get a job at Warner Brothers, I got to do this. I'm afraid that if I say anything in Burbank at Disney headquarters, they'll fire me. All of that's in play now. And I don't really know how long it's going to take to clean it up.
Do you see a way out? Do you see anything that would ignite some kind of rebellion from the people?
Economic deprivation is always the way out. And let's hope it doesn't happen to America. As you know, I have a fairly good relationship with President Trump, who's demonized out in California. His approval rating out in your state is 38%. Because it's almost a collective loathing of him. And, if you want to get invited to the parties, you got to hate him. We're going to have a hate Trump party tonight. Okay, I'll come. That kind of thing. And I don't want economic deprivation, but if the fire isn't going to shake you up, if the crime isn't going to shake you up, if the massive immigration isn't going to shake you up, and I'm talking to the voters now listening to KFI, then I don't know what is going to shake you up. Somebody breaking into your house with a bazooka? I mean, I don't know what it's going to take.
Now, you got a big event that you're going to be a part of on NewsNation, and they're also on the CW network. It's going to be Wednesday, October 15th at the Kennedy Center, Washington, D.C., hosted by Chris Cuomo, a live town hall with you, Stephen A. Smith, and other big names. What's this all about?
Okay, I came up with a concept called Three Americans.
Anyway, so I'm not going to listen to him blather on and self-promote. Again, this is John Kobylt and Bill O'Reilly are just stupid. They're just stupid. Bill O'Reilly is blaming everything on cell phones. Everybody lives in a bubble. They have their cell phones and they get in their cars and then they look away and they don't bother. Neither one of these two geniuses bother to look in the fucking mirror and realize they are the problem. Earlier in this interview, John Kobylt had listed this long litany. How come, what's going to change their voting habits? About this has happened, that's happened, the other thing has happened. Not one of the things that he listed is anything that the left is interested in. Okay, neither one of these two geniuses have figured out that the left votes differently. Their political interests are different from the rest of us, from normal people. Normal people are concerned about their homes. They're concerned about their neighborhoods. They're concerned about the crime rate. They're concerned about property rights, etc. Now, liberals are concerned about those things existentially. Okay, if you go and you try to ruin their property, yes, they're going to call the police or take some other type of action, but not politically. They're not going to vote based on that. What concerns them is things like single-payer health care, climate change, and housing the homeless. Also, they love to soak the rich. And this provides you with your answer. The answer to the problem, what's going to get people to change? Well, it's going to get people like John Kobylt and or Bill O'Reilly to do one of two things. Either get with the program, understand that you have to quit preaching to the choir, because there's the First Church of John Kobylt, and then the First Church of Bill O'Reilly. O'Reilly preaches to his people, Kobylt preaches to his people, but nobody talks to the Democrats. And the Democrats own California, especially Southern California. And when you start running around talking about property rights and how frustrating it is for people to get permits to rebuild their homes, it turns the left off. The Democrats couldn't care less. They just don't care. If you want them to care, you've got to speak their language. You've got to say the fire in the Palisades was bad, not so much because of property, but because of climate change. Think about it. How many tons of carbon dioxide did those fires produce? And that's on Karen Bass. Now, nobody, and I mean nobody as in the Los Angeles Times, apparently no other newspapers or even the Orange County Register, which is supposedly a right-leaning newspaper, seems to see this or understand this, because nobody in the news media, not on television, radio, or in the print, has bothered to go ahead and blame Karen Bass for increasing the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. That's an issue the left cares about. If you talk about that, the Democrats are going to listen. The Los Angeles Times is going to listen to that. Karen Bass is going to listen to that. The Los Angeles Times will then have to write about it. John Kobylt said, and then they have to respond. So now John Kobylt is on the LA Times radar. Then, if the LA Times writes about it, Karen Bass's people are going to know about it. And so they are going to then have to get involved, and they're going to have to start demanding equal time. That means John Kobylt is going to be interviewing Bass or her people on a regular basis. What this means is John Kobylt will start to be a player. Right now, he is dismissed as a right-wing shock jock, and they just dismiss him. They don't listen to him. They don't care about what he has to say, because as far as the left is concerned, he has nothing to say. So now if these two idiots can't get this through their heads, then what needs to happen is they need to F off, retire, get out of the way, and let people get into their spots that will know, understand how to communicate to the left, get the Democrats motivated to dump the Karen Bass, number one, and the governor of the state of California. And it shouldn't be too hard. But again, the problem is their stupidity. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now, Geert Wilders in English.
We want 60,000 Syrian refugees in the Netherlands to return to Syria immediately. And we want, maybe one of the most important things, we want all criminal foreigners to be deported from the Netherlands.
And that was Geert Wilders. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now, some motivation.
We're all faced with a time of challenge and controversy. Adversity causes some cats to break and other cats to break records.
There's times where you're going to have to do it alone. There's not going to be any team support. There's not going to be any family support. There's not going to be any friend support. There's going to be times where you've got to go and do it yourself, and you got to do it alone. And those are the times that make a difference. Those are the times that count. Those are the times where you have to dig deep yourself to get the job done.
And the type of commitment that I'm speaking of is the commitment that says, I am going to stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've set it in has left. Because there's some things you just can't get without perseverance. And you're going to have to fight and fight
and fight and fight. And most of you won't be successful, not because you can't do it, but you can't outlast your old you long enough to get to your new you. And the difference between winners and losers is how we adjust to these hard times. Winners, they understand that the path they've chosen is going to have resistance. They look at it as, well, yeah, I'm getting contested today, motherfucker. And you know what? I'm going to pass that test. And whenever they have the hard thing that happens and then they overcome it, they gain more confidence because they overcame something that the previous version of themselves or the rest of everybody else would have just quit when it happened to them. Things are going to get harder. Things are going to get tougher. That's the way life works. What you need to do is you need to get harder and you need to get tougher. Nobody gave me this. I earned it. Life wasn't a crystal stair for me. Didn't nobody give me a network. I earned the network. Everybody say, E, how did you crack the code? I grinded my way through the code. That's how I cracked it. I got up every day at 3. Monday I grind. Tuesday I grind. I don't care what the economy is doing. I don't care who the president is. I don't care who the governor is. I don't care who the mayor is. I ain't never quit. I ain't never give up. I ain't never give in. I just keep grinding. There's certain things when you're privileged that mama can buy you, but you can't buy grit, and you can't buy grind, and you can't buy resilience, and you can't buy heart, and you can't buy that dog. I don't care where you come from, I want you to be the best at what you do. You don't need this, or that. All you need to be successful in this world is that dog. You gotta wake up every day and compete. You gotta go after it. Everybody said you don't read well enough. You're not a critical thinker. I'm not, but I'm a beast. You ain't gotta be smart when you a beast. You ain't gotta be the most talented when you a beast. You ain't gotta be the most talented when you got that dog. You're gonna have to play hurt. You're gonna have to play when stuff is going on. It's a work that separates the boys from the men. Are you ready to do the work? Are you ready to put in the work? Stop whining, stop crying, stop asking. I want your work to go before you. Everybody want to be a beast till it's time to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Everybody want to be number one till it's time to do what number one do. I'm about that life. I get up every morning at 3 o'clock. When I want to get up, when I don't. When I feel like it and I don't feel like why? Because I'm process driven. I'm not feelings driven. Champions are not feeling driven. Champions don't get up when they want to. There is a championship coordinate and you can't change that. You got to be intentional and deliberate. You got to decide that you're going to do something and you got to do it every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday. Consistency is having a goal, and when you wake up that day and you don't feel like it, you still do what you told yourself you was going to do. It is the days you don't feel like doing it, but you look at your wife, you look at your kid, and you realize, I got to get up and make it happen, even though I don't want to get up and make it happen. Set the standard, then raise the standard, then uphold the standard every single day. If you're not willing to do it every single day, you're not going to beat the man that's doing it every single day. Some of you like, that's too much. Well, you're not going to be a champion. You're going up against other champions? You think you're going to get 50%? You think you're going to get 70%? And you want what these people who've given sweat, who's given blood, who's given tears, you want what they paid for, and it ain't free. I'm not the best. They better than me, but they have not outworked me. You might be taller than me. You might be bigger than me. You might be stronger than me, but I'm coming, and I'd rather die trying. I'd rather give everything I got. I'd rather give a year. I'd rather put in work and fail to not try at all. The real beast, to the last 4 minutes, the real beast is when their legs give out. The real beast when they tired. The real beast find a way to pull something out when nobody else ain't got nothing.
And that was a little bit of motivation. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now, a little bit of meditation.
Imagine waking up with a sense of positive energy, peace, and self-acceptance. This morning meditation will guide you to cultivate inner love and gratitude, gently setting the tone for a day filled with clarity, confidence, and ease. Welcome, dear soul. You've arrived at a beautiful moment, a moment just for you. This is a space of stillness, of love, of intention. Today, we invite in self-love, acceptance, and the energy of a brand new beginning. Take a moment to gently close your eyes. bring your awareness inward. Let's begin by setting this gentle intention. Today, I honor myself. I welcome love, peace, and gratitude into my heart. Now, find a comfortable position, sitting or lying down. Let your body settle into stillness. Take a slow, deep breath in and a soft, full breath out. Let's begin a gentle body scan. Bring your awareness to the crown of your head, then slowly to your forehead, your eyes. Notice any tension and simply breathe into it. Move down to your jaw, your neck, softening. Your shoulders, arms, hands. Let everything relax, drop, and release. Breathe deeply into your chest, your belly. Feel yourself grounding, becoming present. Now, bring to mind something kind about yourself. It could be your resilience, your softness, your creativity. Let that quality rise like a warm light in your heart. As you breathe, repeat softly in your mind, I am enough, exactly as I am. I give myself love without conditions. I am worthy of kindness from myself and others. There's no perfection needed here, just this moment of gentleness, of choosing love. Now, bring into your awareness one thing you feel grateful for today. It could be a small joy, a warm memory, or simply the breath in your lungs. Let gratitude rise and fill your heart. Let it spread through your chest, your arms, your whole body. Breathe into that lightness. Now, say gently to yourself, thank you for this body. Thank you for this life. Thank you for being me. Take a final, slow breath in and exhale gently. Let your awareness return to the room around you. Gently wiggle your fingers, stretch if you'd like, and when you're ready, open your eyes. Carry this softness with you today. Let it guide your words, your choices, your energy. You are love. You are light. You are more than enough. Thank you for sharing this moment. Have a beautiful day ahead, and see you in the next meditation.
And that was a little meditation. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now, an article, it's about 8 minutes long, by Mark Keenan from the American thinker, How Freud Wrecked the West.
How Freud Wrecked the West. To understand how the Western world lost its confidence, how we became a civilization confused about morality, sex, and even reality. We must look back to one of modernity's most influential and corrosive figures, Sigmund Freud. Freud's psychological doctrines reshaped how the West views desire, virtue, and identity. His ideas helped lay the groundwork for the sexual revolution and the new gender politics that now dominate our schools, media, and institutions. The result is a culture hypersexualized, guilt-ridden, and detached from the moral roots that once sustained Western civilization. Freud, prophet of desire. Freud presented himself as a scientist, but operated more like a prophet of the flesh. He built an entire theory of human nature upon his own obsessions, most notoriously the Oedipus complex, claiming, with no proof whatsoever, that all men secretly desire their mothers and resent their fathers. For centuries, Western civilization taught that human beings are moral creatures capable of self-control, that virtue, not pleasure, is the mark of maturity. Freud turned this on its head. He recast restraint as sickness and indulgence as health. Lust was no longer a temptation to be resisted, but a psychological need to be fulfilled. Critic Frederick Crews summarized Freud's legacy bluntly. The entire system of psychoanalysis rests on nothing more substantial than Freud's word that it is true. Nobel laureate Sir Peter Medawar called it a stupendous intellectual confidence trick. Historians have documented Freud's cocaine addiction and his self-diagnosed neuroses. His own granddaughter, Dr. Sophie Freud, dismissed his theories as narcissistic indulgence. Psychiatrist Edward R. Pinkney called psychoanalysis the biggest hoax ever played on humanity. Modern scholars have shown that Freud's central claims were invented interpretations, never verified by real evidence. The moral inversion of the West. Freud's influence went far beyond psychology. His ideas filtered into education, the arts, and politics. Behaviors once guided against by conscience and moral choice, infidelity, promiscuity, debauchery, were reframed as lifestyle preferences. As Dr. Tim LaHaye observed, Freud helped shift the West from moral judgment to moral neutrality. This shift set the stage for the sexual revolution of the 1960s and the gender revolution of our own time. Once you accept Freud's premise that sexual expression is central to health, it becomes easy to claim that any restraint is repressive and any boundary oppressive. Today's gender ideology is simply Freud's obsession carried to its logical extreme, the belief that identity itself is defined by desire. Even Freud's contemporaries noticed his hostility toward Christianity. Where original Christianity, and indeed many ancient cultures, taught mastery of the self through devotion to God, Freudianism taught that freedom means surrender to every indulgence, no matter how misguided. In that reversal, the moral backbone of Western civilization began to dissolve. The cult of liberation. Freud's followers claimed that sexual release is essential for health, a myth that fueled modern hedonism. Yet the great thinkers, from Pythagoras and Plato to Newton and Tesla, taught the opposite. The great saints and sages across cultures, from St. Francis to Srila Prabhupada, saw mastery of desire as the highest test of wisdom and taught that discipline refines the soul and strengthens the mind. Freud dismissed all this as repression. But look around. The societies that embraced his creed now suffer record levels of loneliness, addiction, broken families, and despair. What Freud dismissed as repression was in truth restraint, the self-control and respect for God's laws that form the foundation of a just and enduring civilization. From psychoanalysis to gender politics, Freud's intellectual descendants extended his logic. If all desire is natural, then all distinctions, male and female, sacred and profane, must be artificial. Today's gender-affirming movement takes that to its final absurdity, the claim that biology itself is a social construct. Where Freud dethroned morality, gender ideology dethrones reality. In the post-Freudian West, and especially under the new gender politics, traditional masculinity and virtue have been recast as social diseases, leaving countless men alienated in the civilizations their fathers built. In the book The War on Men, I reveal how modern ideology has stripped men of purpose, recast virtue as weakness, and left a generation unsure of what it means to be a man. Allied with the dogma of feminism, society itself was re-engineered. Each ideological reform expanded government, weakening men and the traditional family unit while centralizing power. Strong, self-reliant men are difficult to control. Dependent, broken men are not. Across the West, men are under pressure like never before. From family courts and false accusations to media hostility and collapsing cultural values, a silent war on men has become undeniable, and millions are paying the price. Where once patriarchy meant duty, protection, and order, it is now smeared as oppression. Yet the absence of that structure has produced a generation adrift, confused about manhood, family, and purpose. Both Freud's psychology and the new gender politics deny the existence of a higher order to which human beings are accountable. Both reduce the soul to the libido, and both have produced generations unmoored from truth, tradition, and meaning. The result is a civilization in moral freefall. Freud's worldview taught that the highest good is pleasure and the highest sin is guilt. Yet guilt is the conscience's alarm bell, the sign that our actions matter. A society that silences that bell soon loses the ability to distinguish right from wrong. The result is a culture that replaces enduring strength and happiness with appetite and meaningless gratification. The consequences are everywhere: collapsing birth rates, epidemic loneliness, and a generation medicated for despair. A civilization that worships desire and the new gender politics cannot sustain duty. A nation that mocks virtue, manliness, and the strength of the soul becomes weak and cannot defend freedom. Recovering the higher path. In today's West, ideology hangs thick in the air, feminism elevated to dogma, masculinity treated as a crime, consumerism replacing character, and government-funded mass immigration justified by slogans rather than reason. Everywhere, the marks of decay are visible. Families fragmented, men feminized, and citizens numbed by propaganda that preaches equality but breeds resentment and confusion. The farther one steps from that chaos, the clearer it becomes that strength and sanity survive only where tradition still holds. Success comes not from indulgence, but from mastery of self in obedience to God's laws and a higher purpose. Freud promised liberation, and the new gender politics promised compassion. Both delivered confusion and bondage. The cure for both is timeless: self-discipline, moral courage, and an understanding that we are not playthings of desire, but children of God, called to follow his instructions given for our good. The West can recover its strength, but only if it rejects the false gospel of Freud, respects and honors its men again, and reclaims the virtues that once made it great: faith, family, chastity, and truth.
And that was an article from the American Thinker by Mark Keenan. And let's see, it's called How Freud Wrecked the West. Back in a minute. Thank you, and this is from an account called Adam Maksar.
Many experts have been warning for years now that a civil war is impending. But I believe that our reality is actually worse than that. In a civil war, there are two sides fighting. Here in Europe, only one side is. And I can tell you that it's not us. It's not the white native population of Europe. That doesn't mean, though, that the average European is okay with all of this. We are trying to constitute change through the official channels, but so far with no luck. For example, in my country, the Netherlands, Geert Wilders' party got a whopping 25% of the votes in the elections of 2023. That's more than he's ever gotten before. And Wilders' single most important aim has been to close the border. In fact, our current government has implemented the, and I quote, toughest immigration policy our nation has ever seen. The result? 130,000 immigrants entered in the past year alone. Despite Wilders' efforts, so much so for the toughest immigration policy we've ever seen. And this is a pattern we see everywhere in Europe. Right-wing parties win the elections, In some countries, they even win with 30% of the votes. But since they never gain an absolute majority, coalitions have to be formed. And what always ends up happening is either one of the three following options. Option A, despite the right wing winning, the centrist parties then say, oh no, but that party is too extreme for us and we don't want to form a coalition with them. Or option B, even if a coalition does get formed, the policies get watered down so much so that nobody gets what they voted for. Or C, and this is something that we see increasingly often in Europe, the legal system steps in and thwarts all true right-wing efforts by deeming the policies to be in violation of European law and human rights. And I haven't even come to the fact that our legal system is also targeting individuals at an exceptionally fast rate. Not just politicians and activists, but also private citizens who dare to speak out against the regime are being targeted, arrested, prosecuted, and even sent to prison. Keir Starmer, also known as two-tier Keir, is an absolute master at that. He is turning the UK into one of the most free countries in Europe. Right now, he's even looking to introduce sentencing guidelines under which white men will be punished harsher than women and minorities. Ladies and gentlemen, last time I checked, there is a word for that: apartheid.
And that was from CPAC, Hungary. Back in a minute.
This moment? How will we be remembered? Look at the opportunities before us.
This election really isn't about the left versus the right. It's about we the people choosing our government and the choice between freedom versus tyranny.
Nobody has a chronic disease burden like we have. Why are we allowing this to happen to our children? Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other.
What is going on here is deeper than politics. It is deeply spiritual. We are being called to rise above the hatred and the fear and the evil.
We need to remember above and beyond that we must love our neighbors, that we must treat other people as we hope to be treated.
You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative.
America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing.
Healthy children. Don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again?
here today as a former Democrat. I will be a first-time Trump voter tonight.
People dreamed this country, and it's the people who are making America great again. Nothing worth doing ever came easy. Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation. Never, ever quit. Never quit. Adversity makes you stronger. Don't give in, don't back down, and never stop doing what you know is right. They want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedoms. They're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I just happen to be standing in their way.
When they couldn't beat him, they tried to bankrupt him.
President Trump is back in a New York City court.
When that didn't work, they tried to put him in federal prison.
Raided by the FBI.
When that didn't work, they even tried to kill him.
They just tried to kill President Trump.
Donald Trump still stands, ready to fight, ready to win, and ready to make America great again.
This is Donald Trump's house, brother.
This election, we all get to choose. I'm going to choose real American leadership and a real American values. The 45th and soon to be 47th President Donald J. Trump.
Starting on day one, we will defeat inflation quickly and we will make America affordable again. I will cut your energy costs in half. It's time for the working man and woman to finally catch a break. We are going to bring back the American dream, bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. When I'm back in the White House, we will restore world peace, and it will be again peace through strength. I will launch the largest deportation program in American history. And we'll put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them the hell out of our country. November 5th, 2024 will be Liberation Day in America. We all salute the same great American flag. Our best days are yet to come. Together, we will make America great again. This is a movement like we've never seen in the history of our country.
Wisconsin is Trump country.
And that's what this fight is all about. We're taking on the failed political establishment and restoring government of, by, and for the people. It's the people. You're the people. You won the election.
We love this country. We love Donald Trump.
Promises made, promises kept.
We support President Trump. This is epic.
Donald Trump is our president.
With every last ounce of heart and hope and sweat and soul, we are going to make our stand. We are going to stand for liberty. We are going to stand for justice. We are going to stand for freedom. And we are going to stand for the sacred rights given to us by the hand of Almighty God. You joined our movement, the greatest movement in the history of our country. You protected your family. You defended your dignity. You recaptured your destiny. And you took back your country with that great election 2.5 years ago. We are one united movement, one united people, and one United States of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
You have always been loyal to this nation. Now you finally have a president who is loyal to you.
between now and November 2020. We are going to keep on working, we are going to keep on fighting, and we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you.
America is a land of heroes, a place where greatness is born, where destinies are forged, and where legends come to life. This is the home of Thomas Edison and Teddy Roosevelt, of many great generals, including Washington, Pershing, Patton, and MacArthur. This is the home of Abraham Lincoln, Frederick Douglass, Amelia Earhart, Harriet Tubman, the Wright brothers, Neil Armstrong, and so many more. This is the country where children learn names like Wyatt Earp, Davy Crockett, and Annie Oakley. This is the place where the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth and where Texas patriots made their last stand at the Alamo. The American nation was carved out of the vast frontier by the toughest, strongest, fiercest, and most determined men and women ever to walk on the face of the earth. Our ancestors braved the unknown, tamed the wilderness, settled the Wild West, lifted millions from poverty, disease, and hunger, vanquished tyranny and fascism, ushered the world to new heights of science and medicine, laid down the railroads, dug out the canals, raised up the skyscrapers. Our ancestors built the most exceptional republic ever to exist in all of human history, and we are making it greater than ever before. This is our glorious and magnificent inheritance. We are Americans. We are pioneers. We are the pathfinders. We settled the new world. We built the modern world, and we changed history forever by embracing the eternal truth that everyone is made equal by the hand of Almighty God. America is the place where anything can happen. America is the place where anyone can rise. And here, on this land, on this soil, on this continent, the most incredible dreams come true. This nation is our canvas, and this country is our masterpiece. We look at tomorrow and see unlimited frontiers just waiting to be explored. Our brightest discoveries are not yet known. Our most thrilling stories are not yet told. Our grandest journeys are not yet made. The American age, the American epic, the American adventure has only just begun. Our spirit is still young. The sun is still rising. God's grace is still shining. And my fellow Americans, the best is yet to come.
Years ago, we took a wrong turn and lost our purpose. We lost the strength that makes Americans who we are. If we dared to speak the truth, it was called hate speech, and our values were labeled shameful. That's when everything we care about fell apart. We surrendered our borders, our paychecks, and our courage. Our patriotism was called toxic. Men could beat up women and win medals, but there was no prize for the guy who got up every day to do his job. Now we're being asked to settle for the way way things are. And we're wondering if America can make a comeback. We can. Because we've done it before. When we get knocked down, we don't stay down. We get up again. We fight. We fight. We fight.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message. When I first came into office, I cut taxes more than any other president. We have created 7 million new jobs, and it led to a growth like we've never seen before. We developed the greatest economy in history by far. When I left office, it changed. Inflation destroyed the lives of so many people. Interest rates went from 2% to 10%. Millions of illegal immigrants, traffickers, and drugs coming into our country. Our country has gone to hell. So I made a decision to run. We're going to make America great again, greater than ever before. I will fight for you with every breath, and I will never let you down.
President Trump is literally putting his life on the line, and he's willing to risk it all because he loves this country.
He is strong, he is fearless, and he is what this country needs right now.
Our cities will be safe, our streets will be clean, and our border will be secure.
We can't allow our country to be destroyed by politicians who will put their own power ahead of the interests of the American people, our freedom, and our future.
The left told me to hate Trump. When you cut through the lies, you realize the truth. American families were better when Donald Trump was president. We were safer, wealthier, and stronger.
So if you love this country, if you want to stand up and fight for the future of our nation, you must re-elect Donald J. Trump.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message. If I give you one message to hold in your hearts today, it's this. Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation. Relish the opportunity to be an outsider because it's the outsiders who change the world and who make a real and lasting difference. The more that a broken system tells you that you're wrong, the more certain you should be that you must keep pushing ahead. You must keep pushing forward.